Documenting Mahogany's obsession with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, take 1. So, why is Anthony Kiedis an amazing
It's not just
artist?
Anthony Kiedis, it's the whole band. Mine is Josh Klinghoffer. I mean, I appreciate Josh Klinghoffer for coming in when John Frusciante left for the second time, but he's not John Frusciante. Therefore,
Well, what's so much better about John Frusciante?
what's... Excuse me?
I
don't
explain in
understand
detail.
everything. His guitar playing skills are up here, and everyone else is just under the ground.
Under the ground?
That's how low it is compared to John Frusciante. He's so amazing.
Okay. So, going back to Anthony Kiedis, can you please explain to me...
But it's not just Anthony Kiedis.
I understand,
He's not
but...
that special. Oh my god, I'm so sorry I said that. He is special, but it's the whole band.
Okay, the band as a whole, but we're kind of singling out some people here.
I don't understand why you can't do that. You can't separate them. They're family.
Oh, God. You separate them. You pick them apart and say what's great about each of them, so why can't we do that now?
Frusciante's my favorite guitarist, Anthony Kiedis is my favorite singer, Flea's my favorite bassist, Chad Smith's my favorite drummer. And there you go.
But why? That's what we're trying to get to is...
Because together, as a whole, they make music that can't be compared to anyone else's. You just can't do that.
Well, I think you could compare it to someone else's.
You could, but you shouldn't.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, but earlier you were explaining to me, and that's what started this whole video. Earlier you were explaining to me the way Anthony Kiedis could go from one, singing style to the other. Could you just do that again so that...
I don't know what you're trying to say.
You said because Anthony Kiedis can go from...
He can, first of all, he has a really low voice, and he has a really high voice, and sometimes they're not really low voice, and then like a teenager in love, why must I be a teenager in love? Like that's really high, like
Okay.
high, and then rapping to not rapping, like some of that's in the same song. Like he'll rap and then he'll sing, and it's just.
Do you think he wrote "Why Must I Be a Teenager in Love"?
I'm pretty sure Josh Klinghoffer and Flea wrote that. They wrote a lot of songs.
No, that song is from the 1950s, maybe early 60s. Because you've definitely heard the other version.
Yeah, I was testing you to see.
Right. So it's pretty fair to say that you have a blind love of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Because I've never seen them.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant a blind love, in essence, that it doesn't really matter what they do. If they crapped on a plate, you'd like it. Like it, you don't really consider all things considered. You just love them, and that's it.
So?
I'm not saying... Well, yes, I am kind of saying that's a bad thing.
I mean, I love them as people. That's why I watch their
But you
interviews.
don't know them!
That's why I watch their interviews, to get to know more about them. And that I love, because they act like, you can tell they're being themselves in the interviews. They're not like pretending to be someone else just for the camera.
Well, how would you know if they were pretending to be someone else if you don't have a basis?
Goofing off and stuff. They're really silly. They're really like childish, and that's what I like about them. They're not too serious, especially Chad Smith. Like he's like Will Ferrell, and they look just alike. Like they're funny and they're tall and they look just alike, and it's just great because he's my favorite drummer and Will Ferrell's my favorite actor, and they just it's like Will Ferrell's playing the drums, and it's just great.
Okay, it's like Will Ferrell is playing the drums. What is your favorite thing about the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
That they're versatile and they can go from anything. They can do anything. Like, they're not in one genre or category of music. Like, you can't categorize them. They're just Red Hot Peppers.
No, you can't
categorize them.
How would you...
Like, what would you put them under? Like, you can't say rock because then they have their little funk, and Flea has that bass that's really funky, and then he has a trumpet, so he has some soul and jazz into it, and you just say, what? Like, what genre would you put that into? Because it gets to me. Like.
Anything else you'd like to add to this before we?
To be in a presence would just heaven.
How would you know it would be like heaven until you experienced
Because heaven
it?
is a great place, and them being around me would just, I'm just an angel.
You'd be an angel to be in the presence of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that we have documented your obsession fairly well. So we'll conclude. Say bye to the camera.